Hey, what's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video, for showing up, for stopping by, for just being here. Today we're gonna listen to the Wipers, or I'm sorry, just Wipers. There's no the in front of them. We're gonna listen to Youth of America. It's a very quick album, only 30 minutes long, clocking in. But we're gonna check this album out. Released in 1981. This is their second studio album. We're listening to this. It was suggested by a few people, not too many, but just a few. Murray Gell-Mann, or Gell-Mann, Ternuge, and then Kent Moore. You guys had suggested this album, and I had it on my list for a long time, but I figured, you know what? Let's dive on into it. I wasn't quite in the mood to listen to like a long, I guess, well, not even long, just a, I guess, regular sized album. So I was like, okay, should I listen to something symphonic, maybe a classical piece of music, or just find maybe a shorter thing? So this is how we got here. So just so you know, otherwise, Wipers, don't really know anything about them at all. Can't even say. I'm assuming that the track and the title of the album, Youth of America, I'm assuming that that's the Kids of America, right? I'm thinking of a completely different sound. Okay. Anyways, the title track is clocking in at almost 11 minutes, so that's kind of interesting. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Without further ado, let's dive on into the first track, which is No Fair. Here we... Hold on, I forgot. As always, this first sip.
The hallways of a sleepless night. Every time I turn around, it's there. Take a piece of our lives to think would care. Took away the joy. Took all of that and more.
I like that it's just kind of slow and drifty. It's kind of a nice opening.
And now we're crying. It's not fair.
There's your start. There's your start. Good sound. It's like an emptiness to it. I like the production, actually. I really like the staticky distortion of the guitar and the bass. They're very melodic. I like that. And I like the way that he's pleading over and over, no fair. Okay, so a quick note before we go any further. I'm listening to this album via Spotify, and this is the first track on the album. However, when I look at Wikipedia and when I quickly checked out like Discogs just to check, this is like the second to last song. This opens up side B of the album. So I think that I'm looking at it right now, and here's what you guys can't see the Spotify part, but No Fair opens up side B, and then obviously Youth of America is the final track on the album officially. On Spotify, they have the sides flipped. So I apologize because I think that, well, I'm looking at it. I'm pretty sure Spotify messed this up and put the wrong side at the beginning. So we'll go back and try and follow this like to the original track listing because that's what I want to do. I want to listen to it, how it was immediately presented. But as of right now, this is what we've been handed to us, and we'll just move on correctly from this particular part. I wasn't really paying attention. I was just starting top and going down. Anyways, regardless. So a few things to note. This has like a very kind of lo-fi, low fidelity, well, that's lo-fi, kind of sound to it when it comes to the production, which we'll see how it goes on and if that's a strength or a weakness. I don't want to quite say just yet, because on one hand, I feel like it sounds kind of cool. Like the guitar and the bass especially, is very much in the forward position. Vocals and drums are a little bit more back and more subdued when it comes to it, which with the kind of atmosphere that they have kind of this punk sound, but with a little splice of, you know, that not shoegaze. That's not at all what I meant to say, but like there's a certain melody or melodic distortion and guitar playing that they're playing with that I think is really nice, and I like that that's pushed up. You're gonna have Greg Sage on vocals, guitar, and eventually playing some piano, and he is also handling the production of this. Then this is interesting. You have two bass players. Maybe that's why the bass is going to be so forward in the mix. You have two bass players, Brad Davidson and Dave Kopal. I don't know if I've ever listened to a band with two bass players. That's actually really interesting. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So they're going to have a much deeper sonically kind of sound when it comes to this. So maybe that's why the production is the way it is. Okay, that's kind of interesting. But regardless, I think that's a really cool sound. I like the way that the guitar shines through everything. The drums seem to be like really nice as well. There's some kind of interesting fills here and there, but they're kind of buried a little bit in the mix, so I can't quite make out completely what's happening on the drum front. But I do enjoy the overall sound of the band, and I really did like Sage's vocals as well, especially when he's saying "No Fair." When he's just saying the title of the track, when he's saying "No Fair" at the end, like it has that pleading, desperate kind of sound to it. And I think his vocals really fit really well with the music. I want to see how this develops. I want to see how this goes on. I like this song for what it is, but I'm curious to see, okay, what else is there basically. But we'll dive into this song and obviously more so the album than anything else. Out of the shadows, blistering lights, through the hallways of a sleepless night. Every time I turn around, it's there. Take a piece of our lives. Didn't think we'd care. Take away the chore, take all of that and more, and now we're crying, it's no fair. So he's crying out, about the unfairness of things and how something is taking away something from him every time. Every time he turns around, it's there taking a piece of his life and their lives. And I like the question, didn't think we'd care? You didn't think we would notice, you didn't think we would care. Well, obviously, they did notice and they do care. Through the shadows, blistering lights, as the dreams of your darkness died, every time I turn around, you're there, taking a piece of our lives. It's not fair. And it just repeats over and over from there. So whatever this may be, it's not fair that it's taking a part of their lives and taking a part of them. Who knows what that is? But, well, you know what? being that the band is called Youth of America, I'm sorry, being that the album is called Youth of America, it could be just an unfairness to older generations, maybe political governments taking something from the youth and they don't feel like it's fair. Could be something of that nature now that I'm thinking about it with the title of the album. All right, let's kind of back up now. I think that we should be able to follow the track list if I start with Taking Too Long. That's the opening track. Taking, Can, Pushing, When It's Over. Okay, I think I have this figured out. So now we're going to actually listen to the beginning of the album, which starts off with Taking Too Long. Apologize about that. Here we go. Like that. Like a squiggly little line.
Didn't realize the sign, cause it was a sign of the times. What was coming from the sky would never ever change your mind. Cause you're taking so long.
Came up. Came back down.
Didn't realize the crime. Thought you had it mastered. What you seek is what you find. There's no one else because you're blind. And it's taken so long. 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 It's taken.
I like how this line comes in. And then just exits. The music feels like this. It's not like sharp ups and downs. It's just kind of like, and the guitar
Didn't
definitely helps.
realize this time what was really on top of your mind. When they're coming from the sky would never ever change your mind. Cause it's taken so long. It's taken so long.
Piano in the back now.
It's taken so long. It's taken so long. It's taken so long. It's taken so long.
That is so catchy, that line specifically. The band has kind of this like sound where it's almost like not lazy and not tired, but they have this kind of sluggishness to them. Like this is how I'm hearing it. It's my first time listening to the band, right? This is how I'm hearing it. It's like a punk band that wants to be punk. And they have the attitude, they have the message, they have the thoughts. And punk is an active genre. It's an active, like, thought. A punk goes out and protests. A punk goes out and makes some sort of change. This, the music feels like it has the thought, has the message, and says, I'll do that tomorrow. I do not mean that in a negative way against the album or song or whatever. It's just how I feel. Because it has that sneer. It has a little bit of that snarl to it. The messaging is there, I feel. But the sound of the music feels more sluggish. It's a little bit more reserved. There's something a little bit more drifty about it. Take that very melodic guitar line. It's playing very loose. You know, it's not tight at all. It's just a very loose, like, I'll go and do that tomorrow. For some reason, that's still that is this statement that comes into my mind, and I think that's kind of cool. It's like this, like that Stuck in Suburbia kind of feel. Like, you know, I don't know. That's just kind of the energy I get out of it, and I really like how the music isn't just stark, steep hills coming up and then drop down to valleys. The music kind of perfectly snakes its way up and down. Like, I think that's really nice. And once again, the singer Sage, like in the verse, you're definitely getting a different side of him when he speaks and sings in that much lower voice in that capacity, and then goes back to what we've heard of him previously. Especially in the end when he's saying it's taking so long, it's kind of getting back to that repeated pleading that we just heard as well in No Fair. You know, kind of hitting similar key points there. Didn't realize the sign because it was a sign of the times. What was coming from the sky? You never ever change your mind because it's taking so long. Didn't realize the crime, thought you had it mastermind. What you seek is what you find. There's no one else because you're blind and it's taking so long. Didn't realize this time what is really on top of your mind. When they're coming from the sky, you never ever change your mind. It's taking so long. So the question is, what is taking so long? I actually am not sure what this one's about. Didn't realize the crime, thought you had it mastermind. Like, I thought you had this figured out, but you don't have it figured out. It may have looked like you had it all figured out, but no, you don't. What you seek is what you find. There's no one else because you're blind. And you can't even see really what's in front of you, even though you're saying you're looking for it. And whatever you put your energy into is what you get out of it. Whatever you seek is what you're going to find. And that's only you're the only one that can determine what you're looking for. I don't know. I'm reaching. This is really me clutching at straws. I actually am unsure. What I am sure about is the next track. That's gonna be Can This Be? Let's go. Oh, there's your. There's your old school punk like that. I like that crunch in his voice. He has that little gnarly crunch. I like that little shift. I love this part. I like how that keeps that first line. I really like the way he sings, like, and cries out the very end, that last note of the lines. That line is so catchy. And I really like the way that Greg sings the verse. And he's like, like, I'm obviously doing it like off, but like that kind of way that he sings it in that quick rapid pace and then holds the last note and allows the guitar lines and everything to kind of fill in after. I like that kind of sound, and I think that works really well for the song. And I really like how that eventually will lead into that chorus, and of course that melodic line. It's just really fun. The drums are there. Like, I'm starting to get it. Now, I'll be honest with you. So far, I'm not in love with anything. Nothing in here is blowing my mind or, whatever, but I'm enjoying my time with it. Just to at least be honest with you at this particular point on the album. It's doing its job. Who's making such a deal? That's not the way it feels. Who are you looking for? But you get it so confused. That's not the way it's used. But how long can this be? How long can this be? When life is one big trail, take it any way you will. But you get it so confused. That's not the way it's used. Like, you can go your own way. You can, be independent, follow this path, or make the path the way you want to do it. But at the same time, don't get it confused, because you're kind of getting it wrong. When life is one big trail, take it any way you will. Like, yeah, life is a trail. Travel it how you wish to travel this path. But you get it so confused, that's not the way it's used. Like, they're doing something wrong that, even if you're following the trail in your own way and you're following and making your life your own way, you're kind of going about the wrong way that even he can see and other people can see, like, I don't think you're kind of going about this quite correctly. And then when he says, how long can this be? I view it as two ways. How long will this trail be? In a sense, their life. And then how long are you going to keep on doing this? How long are you going to keep on traveling this trail in the wrong way? Maybe one day you'll correct it. Maybe not. Hopefully, it's not too long from now. Let's dive into the next track here, which is going to be Pushing the Extreme. Here we go. I like that riff. It's like dark, kind of gloomy.
Through your mirror there is such vanity. Through the light it brought to me. Can't explain. So you think your thoughts are free.
I really like that riff actually in the back.
Isn't what it seems. What the hell you call it? Can't explain. So you think your mind is free, but nothing gets so far away. Leaving no remains. Pushing the extreme. Pushing the extreme.
This would be a good Halloween song. Some backwards hi-hat, maybe? Sounds like it. Or a shaker.
Through your mirror there was such vanity. Tell me, what is it that it wants from me? Child, used to be in it for the same thing. Now it's one against the other. What's this price we gotta pay?
You find your soul free, but the pain gets so far away. Living more remains.
All right, this is the one. Funnily enough, when I'm looking at Spotify, this is the least streamed track from the album, only hitting like a little above 300,000 streams. And at this exact moment, it's my favorite track. I think that this is the one that's the most interesting. It has a kind of gothic-y sound. I love the twisted little break there with the backwards sounding hi-hat, maybe a shaker, and definitely some of the other cymbals. I really like how that's being played around with at that particular portion. Drums going to be handled here by Brad Naish. I believe it's Brad Naish. I really like what's done right there. That's a really cool section. And then that initial riff is already setting you up for this kind of, to me, creepily gothic cathedral-esque castle sound. You know, it's very Transylvanian. It has that kind of sound to me, that da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. There's like a bellish throng behind that that I think is more just part of the production rather than anything else. But I think that sounds really cool. And then even when it gets back into something a little bit more faster tempo and fast-paced, it still keeps that darkness, just gives a little bit of aggression, gives a little gas on the pedal, you know. And I really like the way that Greg's yelling and singing here. I like the way he deepens his voice at the break, which definitely works very well in its haunting atmosphere. I think that this is the best track so far on the album. It feels different. You know, it feels like there's something extra going on there. And I like that. It would be a great Halloween song. Through your mirror, there is such vanity. That's a good line. Through the light, it broke me, can't explain. So you think your thoughts are free? While your eyes look so far away, laughing at the wind veins, pushing the extreme. In your head, it isn't what it seems. Why does it have to cause a scene? Can't explain. So, once again, he's looking at someone. Just like the previous song, he's watching someone and saying you're going down the wrong path. Here, it's like you're looking at yourself too much, as he mentions the mirror in the beginning and the vanity. And they're in their head too much. And he even says, why does it always have to cause a scene? Like, why does it always have to be this way? And obviously some sort of negative, dramatic, perhaps, sense. Why does it always have to go that direction? Why can't we, like, just be cool, man? You're always pushing the extreme. And then the line repeats here again. You know, child, we used to be in it for the same thing. So there used to be a companionship here. We used to be on the same side. Now it's one against the other. What's this price we've got to pay? And then it goes on again. You thought your soul was free, but they'll take it so far away, leaving no remains. So at first we were on the same side. We were in this together in whatever capacity that may be. But then he mentions they take it so far away. There was an external force that perhaps influenced this other person. And now they're not quite themselves. Their personality has changed. And now they find themselves against each other, clashing with one another. Who could that be and what could it mean? Nope, that's up to the writer. Let's move on to the final track of this particular side of the album, which is When It's Over, which is our first long song, coming in at 6 minutes. And then after we finish this song, we'll skip No Fair because we listened to the beginning. And then we'll listen to the title track, Youth of America. Let us go on. I love that melody beneath this. That feels like driving. It's kind of epic. It's like a training montage kind of song. That's the explosion. I gotta say, I really enjoyed this opening. It's working really well. Bass coming in deeper. Going. Like how I still kept the piano now. I like when he talks in this deeper voice.
I'll be over.
So static. Scratchy guitar. It's like orchestral, right? This is a really cool track. It really just have this kind of symphony kind of sound to it, a symphonic sound. Sounds like there's some keys to it back there.
When it's over, we'll be laughing.
it's perhaps obvious because it's a longer song, but it really does take advantage of that. And this track feels epic. The continual, almost symphonic-esque guitar-driven sound of this is just, to me, really, really euphoric to listen to. I love when the, obviously the main groove of everything, that dun 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 dun, it's just driving. It feels like you could go driving down a highway and put a little extra on the gas, or you could, do a workout montage of this. I really like that. I think that sounds really fantastic. When Sage comes in eventually, it's more just speaking in that lower kind of voice, just kind of speaking a message underneath the rising, derangement of the music, because that's eventually where it goes. It feels like the song is driving, and at the very end, it drives itself over the edge of its own musical cliff. And I love how the music breaks away from that main symphonic groove and how it gets into that tension, kind of more anxiety-induced feeling. The dun, dun, dun. It just keeps on getting higher and higher. Like, it just keeps on doing that, and eventually it breaks its way and goes back to the dun, 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 dun. It's just, I think that's a really cool sound. It's 6 minutes long. Does it feel long, or does it feel right? On a first listen, I'm leaning towards the right on this one. I think that it works really well for the length of time that it accomplishes. If it went on a little bit longer, if this was a 10-minute track, maybe I would be like, I need some more something going on. But as it is, I think that it's a great amount of time. I like how after the intro, right before Sage comes in vocally, that same melody is carried from the bass and the guitar, but this time it's to the piano that carries that through a little bit more primarily. I think that's a smart way of lowering everything, but still keeping the same soul and spirit, I guess you could say, of what was happening before. I think that was really, really well done. I like that. That was good. See, like, this song, the previous track, these are the ones that are starting to hit a little bit. These are the ones that are impressing me a little bit more. I enjoy this. Now, let's flip ourselves over. Well, I guess before that, I have the lyrics pulled up right here. I'm looking at them. Got to do that, huh? Land of the free, home of the brave. Do you think we will ever be saved? In the land of dreams, I find myself sober. Wonder when it'll all be over. So I like that. So first of all, okay, America, do you think we'll ever be saved? Saved from what? Perhaps saved from ourselves. In the land of dreams, I find myself sober. He finds himself awake in a land that's dreaming. I like that line a lot. And he's just wondering when it'll all be over. So imagine that you're sleeping, you're having a dream, and you're awake in your dream. You're having a lucid dream moment, right? And you're just waiting for yourself to wake up. And in this case, not only is he perhaps waiting for himself, but he's waiting for others to wake up and for this to all be over. Living in the void, but the void grows colder. Wonder when it'll all be over. Then he says in the outro, will you be laughing when it's over? Will you be laughing when it's over? Like, you're laughing right now, but when everyone wakes up or when whatever happens, are we still going to all be laughing? Or are there going to be perhaps a few more tears in our eyes rather than anything else? Let's dive into the final track now of this album, Youth of America. 10 minutes and 30 seconds long. Grab a coffee, grab some water. Here we go. Right in. Not wasting time on this one. Little effect.
Youth of America is living in the jungle, fighting for survival, but there's no place to go.
It's going off.
Youth of America, there's pressure all around. The weapon from the devil was coming down on you. It is time we rectify this now. We got to say it now. Got
Add a little woo in there, huh?
With that, knocking from the right side, down the left side, down the middle till you don't know who you are. Turn around and think it don't really matter. Try to put your 6 feet under the ground. It is time to rest the violence down. You got to feel it now. Got to feel it now. Now.
I love the little yaps. Some deep feedback in there. I like how he started playing with it. He's messing with all those effects. Just very grungy, now that I'm thinking about it. That echo reminds me of something, and I can't remember what. The way it came in and went out. I can't remember. Like almost Pink Floyd-esque or something like that. It's an interesting sound to come in. It's so light. It's kind of an interesting like explosion of ambience that just came in. It's kind of lingering. Isn't that kind of interesting? The way they're playing with the sound effects and the feedback and everything in here, I think is pretty cool in this section.
Rich get richer, poor get poorer. Now there's no place left to go. Gotta get off this road. Do you wanna be born here again? I don't wanna be born here again. Just ain't no existence. Well, these guys from the skies. We're living in the jungle, fighting for survival. Can't wait much longer.
kind of scared me a little bit. There's a lot happening now. Something being sampled over on the left. I don't know what that. It's like a controlled chaos happening right now in here. This is the anthem. This is the chant. This is the part that gets you going. This is the part at the end of the concert when audience starts singing and audience starts chanting and getting involved. Are you kidding? Yeah. Yeah, they end their album with their longest and definitely, I would say, most experimental track as well. Considering the middle of the track, because the middle is just this whole experimental feedback-based kind of, I don't know, dilly-dally. That's when, you know when on, like, if you're watching a live show and a live performance, like, that time when the guitarist, like, goes up to his amplifier and he's, like, by the sound, I don't know, whatever those things are called, like, they're all their sound kits and everything, and they're, like, clicking pedals, and they're like clicking pedals, and he's like, and he's like all by the thing, and he's like when they're doing all that like experimental stuff. That's what I feel is going on in the middle section. Like the guitarist just went up to his amp, and he was just playing with his pedals and sound effects and all these different things and getting all these different sounds. I thought the kind of the most interesting thing in that was in the halfway point when that very light, melodic kind of, I don't know why this is the word that came to me, but new age kind of sound came in and just kind of glossed over this dirty underbelly and murkiness of the music under that. It was just this kind of almost overly contrasting two styles that were like head to head, but they didn't clash. I think that the band actually worked it in there very well so that it had this contrast, but it was very satisfying to listen to the, you know, the gritty dirtiness of the underbelly, but then that light sheen that was happening on top. I think that was actually very smartly done at that particular point. The you know, singing / speaking comes back in with the message this time, and it just goes from there. And then even the verse itself is very catchy as well. And then the ending chants and anthemic, you know, Youth of America, just shouting it out. Like I said, that's the point in the live show, that everyone in the audience comes in and is ready to chant with them. That's good. I like this. This was a good way to end the album with a long song like this. Youth of America is living in the jungle, fighting for survival with the wrong place to go. Youth of America, there's pressure all around. The walls are coming down. The walls are crumbling down on you. It is time we rectify this now. We've got to feel it now. Got to feel it now. They attack you from the right side, down the left side, down the middle, till you don't know who you are. Like, this is him speaking directly to the youth of America. He's saying, listen, they're coming down on you from this side, that side. Stick around because it really don't matter. They'll try to put you 6 feet underground. It is time we rectify this now. We've got to heal it now. We've got to heal it now. So this is, like I said, this is that call to action before. Whereas before, remember I said, like, this is like the punk that is on the couch just because of the music, the sound. This is now that call to action. Rich get richer, poor get poorer. There's no place left to go. Got to get off this rut. Don't want to be born here again. I don't want to be born here again. Man, this ain't no existence. Beware of those guys in disguise. We're living in the jungle, fighting for survival. Can't wait much longer. Hurry. And then once again, calling to action. Take the risk. Let it expand your imagination. We have no place left. No place left. And you got it, Youth of America, calling to you now. We gotta get together and make some change. Make some action. I think that this was a really, really cool song to end the album on. And I think that, like, even though I don't love, like, overall this album, like, I can be honest, I don't love this album. But I will say that Pushing the Extreme and When It's Over, my two favorite tracks easily, like, they have that extra something to them. Even this track, Youth of America, it makes use of its time in that experimenting within this kind of punk, almost grungy phase. Like, some of the guitar that was played in there, to me, had a very grungy kind of sound to it, which I thought was really, really cool. So, yeah. Hope that you guys enjoyed listening to Youth of America. Like I said, this was just a quick album for me to dive into. You know, I just wanted to kind of do a little something. So, hope that you guys enjoyed it. Of course, you can let me know your thoughts and comments down below. You can follow me over on Twitter, support the channel and what I do on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here. Hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.